Good morning, students. In the lesson Heredity and Variation, we studied what is heredity and what is variation. After that, we studied about the inheritance also, that how the characters are or things are passed from parents to offspring. After that, we came to the heredity, that is transfer of hereditary characters, genes from parents to the offspring. After that, we came to how to transfer it, how they get transferred from parents to offspring, what are inherited traits and the expression of traits. Therein, we studied about the chromosome. And now we are clear about that chromosome is made up of DNA that contains the genes. Interpretation, we studied it. Okay, we studied about the structure of a chromosome also, and after that the types of chromosome. Now we will study in detail about the DNA and RNA. So what is that which plays an important role in heredity and variation? How it is, what is its structure, what scientists mean to say, that we will study now. Before that, an important quote. As a creator, I choose to believe that I am sufficient, whole and complete. Okay. You know, we are the creator of ourselves. No one can create us. So, we have to be confident about ourselves and believe on ourselves. Okay? We have the confidence on ourselves. We should believe on ourselves. And then, what should be that? We should think that I am sufficient. I am whole and complete. Means sufficient whole. Means I can do everything. Okay? Whatever the work I am getting, whatever the problems I have to face, I am sufficient to do that and I am complete, means I can do it. Okay. So, an important quote, keep in mind children, which is good for everyone. As a creator, I choose to believe that I am sufficient, whole and complete. Okay. So, have a faith, have a confidence on yourself, do better for your life. Okay, and I hope you are sufficient, whole and complete to achieve your target. Children, now we will study about the DNA. What is DNA? DNA is the deoxyribonucleic acid. DNA. Deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, deoxyribonucleic acid. You know nucleic acid. You know that chromosomes are made up of DNA. What does it mean? DNA is a part of the chromosome. A part of the chromosome is a DNA. Okay. So that DNA you had also studied that it contains the nucleic acid and the proteins that you studied. Okay. So this was again studied by the scientist, Swiss biochemist Frederick Miescher in 1869. Okay. In 1869, Swiss biochemist Frederick Miescher studied it. When he was studying the white blood cells at that time, he reported that DNA, that is deoxyribonucleic acid, it is present only in the nucleus of the cell, and that's why it got the name nucleic acid. Okay. They observed first it in the nucleus, that is the nucleic acid, and that's why they gave it the name nucleic acid. But after the detailed study, they came to know that it is present, DNA is present in other part of the cell also. Okay. So these molecules, as they are present in other parts of the cell along with the nucleus, these are present in all the organisms. Okay. They are not only present in humans, they are present from viruses, bacteria, small microorganisms to the till the human body. Means DNA, that is the transfer of hereditary characters, is seen in all the organisms from minor to the major one. Okay. So what is its function? These molecules, you know that as you had studied in your lower classes, the function of nucleus. Nucleus control the functioning, the growth and the division of the cell. The functioning of all the cell organelle is controlled by the nucleus. The growth of the organism is also controlled or studied by the nucleus, and then the division, that is the reproduction. It plays an important role in the reproduction of the cell. Okay, and therefore this DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid, it is called as a master molecule. Okay, what it is called as? Master molecule. Master means it is playing the master role, important role in the cell. That is, they are controlling the function of all the cell organelles along with the growth of the individual and the reproduction also. Okay, so such a DNA structure, this type of DNA structure is same in all the organisms. Okay, maybe unicellular or a multicellular or a human, the DNA structure is the same in all organisms, keep in mind. So after that, the scientists Watson and Crick studied the structure of DNA, how it is. Okay, so in 1953, Watson and Crick proposed a model. He called this model as a double helix model. See the structure given herein. He called this model as a double helix model because when he studied the structure of DNA, he found that it has two parallel strands of nucleotides. It has two parallel strands of a nucleotide. I will tell about the nucleotide, but keep in mind that here it is made up of two strands. Two strands are seen which are coiled around each other. Okay, which are coiled around each other, and that's why it is called as a double helix. They are not present in a straight way. In the helical form they are present. Two are there. That's why it is called as a double helix structure. So this structure he compared with the flexible ladder. You know that in some of the houses or in some of the what we can say that showrooms when we visit, you find that ladder is not a straight one. It is in the coiled form. That is called as the helical form. Okay. So DNA structure is compared with that, which is made up of the ladder means strands, and it has rail and a rung also. Rung means that wherein we are just going upstairs, that are called as a rung, while to the side what they are present, they are called as a ladder. Okay, so this complete ladder is made up of rail and the rung. Rail means the side one, while the rung means the middle portion. Okay, so how is that? Each strand, it is made up of two strands. Just I told you that each strand in the molecule of DNA, it is made up of many small molecules called as the nucleotides. Okay, it contains many nucleotides. Not only one type of structure is present in one strand. It contains many nucleotides which are in the form of a chain. Okay, they are arranged in the form of a chain. Two threads of DNA molecule are comparable to two rails of a ladder, and each rail is made up of alternately joined molecules of sugar and phosphoric acid. Okay, so see here children, these nucleotides has a number of different structures. Out of that, when we are talking about the rail of the nucleotide, that rail means the partitions which are in the helical form. These helicals, they are made up of what? Nitrogen. Sorry, they are made up of sugar and the phosphoric acid. What it contain? Sugar and phosphoric acid that are arranged in the alternate way. Okay, on the rail of the ladder, sugar and the phosphorus, they are arranged in the alternate way. And to that phosphorus, the rung is attached which contains the hydrogen along with the nitrogenous base. So what are the nitrogenous? There are 4 types of nitrogenous base, mainly 2 called as purines and the pyrimidines. Okay, 2 types of nitrogenous bases are there in the rung, that are purines and the pyrimidines. Purines are adenine and guanine. Okay, purines are adenine and guanine. We have to learn it. While pyrimidines are cytosine and the thymine. Okay, children. Pyrimidines are cytosine and thymine, while purines are adenine and guanine. Okay. So what happens? Herein, when the ladder is formed, one is taken from purine and another is taken from pyrimidine. Okay. So in the structure of this nucleotide, molecules of this nitrogenous base and the phosphoric acid, they are joined to the molecule of sugar. Are you getting? As in the rail side, phosphorus and sugars are present. So one side of the phosphate, sugar is attached, while towards the rung it has a nitrogenous base. Okay, these nitrogenous base, they are arranged one after the other. The 2 threads of DNA molecule, they are comparable to the 2 rails of a ladder, and each rail, listen children, each rail is made up of alternately joined molecules of sugar and phosphoric acid. Okay, and each rung of the ladder is a pair of nitrogenous base joined by hydrogen bond. See here, each rung is made up of pair of nitrogenous base joined by the hydrogen bond. Okay, adenine always pairs with thymine and cytosine pairs with the guanine. Keep in mind, their pairing is in the same way: adenine, thymine, cytosine, guanine. It can be in alternate way, that is thymine, adenine, and here guanine first and cytosine may be the latter one. In this way there can be the change. So now you can come to the page number 184 of 82 of the textbook. Children, see here, nucleus of the cell. You can get the clear-cut idea about the chromosome and DNA. See here, nucleus of the cell, that contains the thread-like structure which is called as a chromosome, and that part of the chromosome, it is called as a gene or a DNA. What is gene? Which is interpreted, okay, which has the protein synthesis over there, that is the gene. It is nothing but a DNA structure. Okay, it is shown there. After that, these are 2 photographs are of scientists Watson and Crick. After that, the structure which is shown here, okay, it is given there. So each chromosome, it is made up of what? It is made up of a gene. So what is gene? A DNA structure which is having the interpretation over there, interpretation of the characteristics, that is the guanine, cytosine, phosphate group and the sugars, which is having all that interpretation. It is called as a gene. Due to the variety of sequences in the nucleotides, different kinds of genes are formed. You know that as it contains the phosphate, sugar, hydrogen, and again 4 nitrogenous base which can be arranged in different way, you find that genes are of different kinds. Okay, different kinds of genes are formed, and accordingly only we can find the different characteristics in the different organisms. So what the genes do? Genes control the structure and the function of the cell. See the important function. It controls the structure and function of the cell and of the body. They also transmit the hereditary characters from parents to the offspring. That's why the genes are said to be the functional unit of heredity. Children, genes are said to be the functional unit of heredity, and that is why many similarities are seen between the parents and the offspring, but not completely same. Many similarities are seen but not different, because we find the different interpretations in the parent and the offspring.